So let's start the class. Welcome to the class. We will today discuss about main determinants of tourism demand. Can anyone guess what is the meaning of determinants? What are determinants? And what is a demand? I think demand you know very well. Main determinants of tourism demand. What are these determinants? Can you see the board? Can you see the board clearly?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
You can read what is written there. Yes. So, what are the main determinants of tourism demand? Yes. We are studying tourism geography, so we have to ascertain what factors are there which influences tourism demand. Demand of any place in tourism circuit. What is demand? What demand here means? Yes.
Sir, goods and services.
Goods and services it is, but what do we mean by demand here? What is affecting? What these factors are affecting? We discussed
Sir,
that.
culture.
That will come later. What does it signify? What does it do? What are these factors? I have said that these are the factors which influences the demand. So, okay, let's rephrase it. If there is a high demand, what will be the impact? What the high demand of any tourist destination will translate to? Yes. What this high demand will do? What will be the impact of this high demand or low demand? Yes. What this high demand will do? Suppose Aligarh is in high demand. So what it will do? Yes. Yes, Yusra. If a particular tourist destination is in demand, in high demand, how will it be translated on the ground? Yes.
Overcrowding.
Overcrowding is
Sir,
there.
income होगी.
Income and होगा क्या? What will happen?
सर फेम ज़्यादा होगा.
Fame is there. What will be the impact of high demand? Suppose Aligarh somehow for any event or its building or its university, it is in a high demand. Then Bombay is in high demand. Kashmir is in high demand. Valley is in high demand as tourism is concerned. So what is the impact?
सर इनकम ज्यादा हो गया.
इनकम ज्यादा होगी उसके पहले क्या होगा? इनकम क्यों ज्यादा होगा? Why the income will be greater?
सर क्योंकि वहाँ लोग पहुँचेंगे ज्यादा से ज्यादा.
लोग ज्यादा आएंगे. That is the thing. The tourist inflow. There will be a high demand will result into high tourist inflow, increased tourist inflow. If the demand is increased, then high tourist inflow is there. More tourists will come to that place. Yes, that demand means, that demand affects. And what factors we are discussing here, what factors increase demand? What factors affect demand, increase or decrease demand? What are these factors? So we are calling them main determinants. Determinants are the factors which influence the tourism demand. Main determinants of tourism demand are the factors, determinants are the factors influencing the demand of a particular tourist destination, and this high demand or low demand affects the tourist inflow. Increased or reduced tourist inflow. If the demand is decreased, then the tourist inflow will be less. Lesser number of tourists will visit that place if the demand is low. If the demand is high, then so we can say that what are the factors which affect the demand, tourist inflow. So first factor is, perhaps most important factor is income. Income of whose income? Income of the city? Yes. Whose income? Yes. Income of the tourist. Suppose you want to go to a beautiful place of scenic beauty, a very beautiful place. You have two options, Switzerland and Valley. Where will you go? What will decide where you will go? Your income will decide where will you go and when will you go. If you have a huge income, a good income, then perhaps in all probability you will go to where you will go. Yes. Yes, Fawzia, where you will go? If you have no dearth of money, if you have ample money, where will you go? Fawzia, can you hear me? Perhaps Fawzia is not hearing me. Where will you go? Yes, Adiba, where will you go?
Yes, sir.
Where will you go? If you have ample money, sufficient money, if your income is very good.
Sir, Valley. Sir, Valley.
Valley you will go.
Sir,
Valley
very
you
good. No, Switzerland. Sir, Switzerland.
Yeah, you will go to Switzerland. In most probably.
Yes.
Not all people will go Switzerland. Perhaps some people will prefer Valley, because Valley is almost as beautiful as Switzerland. Perhaps in the opinion of some people, it is more beautiful than Switzerland. So you may, but income is a factor. If you have a increased income or good income, you will go to the place where it may be expensive, because international tourism requires money. You have to commit a significant expenditure in transport. In transport is a very important factor. If you want to go to Europe, then 50,000 to 1 lakh per person is around will be the fare. So you have to shell out that amount also. And if you want to go to Valley, I think 2 to 5,000 is one-way ticket. Around 10,000 you will go and return on transport. So in international travel, money spent is an important factor. And money spent will come from your income. Your income will decide where you will go, when you will go, and how often you will go. So that will result in increased or decreased tourist inflow in that country. Then it is price. Price of second very important factor is price. What is price? What we are talking about? Which price we are talking about here? It is almost a close second to income as determinant of tourism demand. Yes.
The price of destination.
Sir, price of transportation.
Price of transportation and
Price of destination.
commodities.
price of commodities, price of goods and services, like hotel tariff, like food, how the food will cost there, your accommodation, how local transport. We were talking about the main transport, now local transport. If you want to buy souvenirs for people back home, so what is the price? What is the hotel tariff? What is the cost of price food? What is the cost of laundry there? What is the cost of things there? But it is very, very complicated, because the price of one thing to other thing varies. Perhaps at some destination hotel tariff is not high, not very high, but food is high. Suppose local transport is not very expensive, then that is another factor. Depends on what your itinerary is, how much travel, how much local travel you want to do, how much you eat. That's all. Does that affect? आप कितना खाते हैं इसका फर्क पड़ता है. Yes. Yes. या आप कितना आप कितना इसका आपके टूरिस्ट डेस्टिनेशन के सिलेक्शन पे फर्क पड़ता है या नहीं पड़ता, वहाँ जाके जो खर्च हो रहा है. देखिए ट्रांसपोर्ट का तो बहुत बड़ा फर्क पड़ता है और आपकी इनकम का बहुत बड़ा फर्क पड़ता है. बट द प्राइस ऑफ थिंग इज अ कॉम्प्लिकेटेड थिंग. I will tell you a story about me. We had gone to London. Someone phoned me that there at some particular market some handmade umbrellas are available. I need that. Please bring one for me, not as a gift, but bring that umbrella and I will pay you. Please. So we inquired about it. Handmade umbrella in London. Can you guess how much it costs? What was the cost? Can you guess? Can you have a wild guess?
Sir, expensive होगा काफी.
It was expensive. That's why I'm mentioning it. But how much? An order of? There's one shop in London, and that was famous for that handmade umbrella, and that was the price. The cheapest umbrella in that shop was of 30,000 Indian rupees. Cheapest umbrella, and that was not very good. Cheapest umbrella was. So I told that person that it starts from 30,000. Perhaps what I will select for you will at least cost 50,000. I can bring it for you if you say. So he said, no, please don't, because he was not expecting that much a price. 30,000 in Indian rupees, cheapest umbrella simply. One more, and that was in 2014. We had gone to Scotland. Someone asked me to bring Scotland tweed. Scotland tweed is very famous. You know tweed? Everyone know tweed? What is that tweed? Tweed is a cloth mainly used in coats that is variegated sort of, maybe you can remember now. Yes, Adil, you know tweed?
No, sir.
Tweed is a cloth used in coats, a special type of that is variegated self pattern. Tweed, you can search anything. So Scotland tweed is very famous. So we asked for the price, and it was one piece for one coat was starting from the cheapest 70 Indian rupees. So again, I asked, that person was going to pay for it. Then I asked for that. He refused it. Then instead of that tweed coat length, we purchased as a gift some muffler, scarf. You know, muffler. That was also very expensive, but not that expensive. So we returned, and we gifted them a muffler. That was also Scotland. It was made from Scotland tweed, but muffler तो बहुत छोटा सा होता. So pricing and cost. Some people don't go to London and UK because they say that it is the perhaps one of the most expensive destination in whole Europe. Other places are cheaper. So people, at least frequency of going to London is affected. Though London has a very, very strong pull, there are no dearth of tourists. So income and price are very, very important determinants of your decision when to go or where to go. It affects your decision. Then we talked about in earlier class also, that is one very, very important factor is exchange rate. Exchange rate is very important. What is that? Exchange rate. What is exchange rate? Yes, exchange rate of what I am talking about. Exchange rate of, yes, Akdas. Exchange rate of, do you hear me? Yes, Akdas. Exchange rate of currency.
Correct.
Yes. If your currency is valued very less than that country, it will cost you more. So perhaps you will decide that you will go to that country where your money is at least at par. If you buy a GBP, Great Britain pound, it will cost around 100. If you go to Europe, euro you will buy, it will be around 70. And in some countries,
89.
now 89 it is. Oh, so perhaps pound maybe above 100. Huh? So it varies between 70 to 100. It varies. And when you perhaps the 89 when you go to buy the pound, perhaps it will 92 or 93. Buying price is a bit higher. Selling prices are bit lower. So that is very costly. Means your 90 rupees will be converted into 1 rupee of euro. 1 euro. 1 euro will cost you 100 euros will cost you around 9,000 rupees. That's so. So that is very interesting thing. So you may decide to go to a destination where your currency, the currency of your country, is valued much. You may, it can affect your decision. Not always, but it can affect your decision. So that is exchange rate is very important determinant of tourist inflow. And one very important that is complicated, but some people have more money, and if your desire is very high, you will go. That's so. Whatever may be the exchange rate, if your desire will very high, and that you have to go to Switzerland at least once in a lifetime, you will go. You will save money for years to go there. And one very important factor is visa regulations. Visa regulation. How easily visa for that country or that destination is available. Visa, I think I don't have to explain it. So, visa, how much easy or difficult it is to get a visa for that particular place. Some countries have very strict measure for issuing visa. That to get those visa is very difficult, especially for tourist purposes. If you're going in a course, if you're going as a student, if you're going if you have got a job there, then you will get the visa more easily. But if you are going only for a visit, then it may be difficult. And some countries offer a visa on arrival or e-visa. Have you heard about the term visa on arrival? Yes. Yes, Dania. What is visa on arrival? Yes. What is visa on arrival? Visa on arrival practically means there is no visa required. You go without a visa. On reaching that destination, you will be issued a visa. If any serious offences, serious charges are not against you, if you don't have a very criminal history or if you're very unwanted in that country, they consciously decided that you will not come, you are not allowed in my country, then you will get a visa on reaching that place. The visit of those destinations is very easy. That's so. You will more tend to, yes. Bhutan offers. Bhutan perhaps don't want visa on arrival. Nepal perhaps you don't need a visa to go to Nepal. You can walk in Nepal, but you don't have. You will have to have a Indian passport or some identity card that you are Indian citizen. For Indian citizens, Nepal don't ask for visa. Many countries don't ask for visa or visa on arrival. Visa on arrival practically means no visa is required. So that is a very important factor. If visa regulations are tough, then perhaps you may decide to not go to that country. So, visa regulations are very important. Another factor is trade openness. Because tourists not always pure tourists. Sometimes you go to a country to see that in future maybe I can do business here or I can do trade to test the waters. Sometimes people go for the to test the water. That is very very important factor. If the country is open for trade, then you will go. And if you have heard that it is very difficult to get permission of trade to that country, you will not go to that country. That sector of tourism inflow will be decreased. Then one very important factor is population size and population segment. Mainly population segment. We discussed family and age in the earlier class. Population segment is very important. Someone of you was saying that youngs more tend to go to on tours more. So what is your population segment? You are high income, you are outgoing, you are adventurous, you are young or not. That is very very important. If you are young, you will go to different place. If you are an old person or mature person, you may go to different place. You may decide to go to different place. Then marketing is very very important. What is marketing? What is marketing? What is marketing? Yes. What is marketing? Marketing is, what does this factor means? Marketing is
Sir, various promotional activities.
promotional activities, publicity, advertisement to pull tourists, because every country wants that tourists visit there as should be increased. Why countries want tourists? Why countries want to pull tourists? Any reason? Yes, any reason? Any reason? Because it gives them income, because it gives them foreign exchange, and yes, and tourist visit is also a form of advertisement. You go there to that country and you think that it's a good place to do business, or it's a good place to do studies, or you are attracted to that country after visiting that. You think that it is also good for doing business. I should expand my business to that country. I could have a branch of my business in that country. After you visit, after you test the waters, that is very very important. And for trade, you can perhaps you don't want to open an office there, but you want to trade. If you see that trade openness and ease of doing business, you go to you are more tend to, so that tourist activity is also a promotional activity in itself for business. Trade openness and tourist visit are very very important in that sense, and it gives a positive image. In India, you must have heard about the campaigns. Government started some campaigns. Atithi Devo Bhava. Have you heard about it? Have you heard about Atithi Devo Bhava?
Yes, sir.
That was a
Yes,
campaign.
sir.
Yes, means the guest, tourist we are referring here. The guest is like a god. We should treat him or her. We should give the respect the gods deserve. The Atithi is Dev. Atithi is God. So you treat them well. So there were two campaigns mainly, Atithi Devo Bhava and Incredible India. You must have heard that. That was also for the same purpose. These campaigns were uh, meant to attract tourists. These are the recent campaigns, but before that, from the times of our independence, uh, Bharat Mahotsavs are Bharat Mahotsav. Bharat Mahotsav are were organized in different countries where we showcase our culture, our handicrafts, our trade openness, and to increase tourism. It leads me to the one factor of culture. Culture is very important. In India, we have a very important USP of culture. Our culture, our varied culture attracts tourists. That's not. Culture is our USP. Buildings are not our USP. Historical buildings is not the main factor which attracts tourism, barring some exception, Taj Mahal and some exceptions. But our buildings are not as intricate as European buildings. They have more beautiful buildings, so it's not our pulling factor. Our pulling factor is our main USP is unique selling proposition. Our main USP is culture. People are attracted by our varied culture, varied, interesting culture, and our sun. We have talked about sunlust and wanderlust. Our sun, enough sun are very, very important factors in India. Our fairs and festivals, our traditions, and our we value our tourists very much. Though we steer them a lot, that is a very negative factor, but we value our tourists highly. Atithi Devo Bhava is there itself. We we don't need a campaign for that. We value our guest in Indian culture. We value our guests very much. We treat them highly. We treat them on a pedestal. So that is there, barring some exceptions. Exemptions are always there. We value them much. So that factor is there. Then there are repeated visits. Repeated visits are very, very important in tourist inflows. Repeated visits. What are repeated visits and how repeated visits? What factors prompt you to visit that particular place again? Yes.
सर ऐसा होता है कि हम कोई नई जगह जब जाते हैं तो उसमें रिस्क होता है, तो हम इसलिए वहाँ नहीं जाकर जो जगह देखी हुई है
familiar place जाते हैं. Yes, Adipa, you're right. So, and when you will go again? When your experience was good.
Yes sir.
Then only you will go to that place again. When your stay was comfortable, when your overall experience was good, then you will go again and again. The repeated visits also, any product or any service is a hit only when you buy it again and again. Tourism is a product. Here we are talking about tourism as a product. If you go means you buy that product. When only it is a hit, only a movie is hit only when people see it again and again. Super hit movie. A movie is only super hit when only you buy, you see it again and again. A product is hit only when you go again and again. You buy that product again and again. And you will go again when the experience is good. So repeated visits are very, very important. That increase inflow very much. If you go to Kashmir, it is a feeling that I will come next year also. So that repeated visit. Maybe you cannot go, but that repeated visit are. Then there is a very, very important thing is seasonality. Tourism has a seasonality. When you go on tours to a mountainous place or a cool place, when it is hot here, yes, the seasonality is very important. There is a variation in demand in different seasons. Mountainous areas, that is called the season. If you go to Kashmir or Mussoorie, or they call the tourist season. It is May, June. So seasonality is very important. At some places, if you go to Kashmir or Mussoorie, in rains or in extreme cold weather, the tourist inflow is reduced because roads are blocked and condition of roads is very, very bad. So that is also a very, very important component of tourism demand. Seasonality. Then a country attractiveness is very, perhaps it is most important factor. Country attractiveness. Some countries are more attractive, like some destinations are more important. We are not talking about countries only. We are talking about particular cities and particular spots. Which countries has more appeal in world? Which cities have more appeal in world in the context of tourism? Yes, Dania.
That in India.
Yes.
सर इसमें सर man-made और natural factors दोनों work करते हैं।
Both. Attractiveness is man-made and like Paris. You want to go to Paris. You at least want to visit Switzerland. In India, it is Goa, Kashmir, and Mussoorie,
Kerala.
Ooty, yes, Kerala, and different cities of Kerala, yes. And you want to go to, in Kerala you go to see the backwaters and lagoons. Some islands are very attractive. Seychelles. I think some of you have Seychelles as their dream destination. Fiji, Maldives, Agra, London. These are many more are there. They have their own pull. They are expensive. Many of them are expensive. Have tough visa regulation, high transport costs. But their pull is such that you go there anyway. You say that at least once I will go. That is a very important factor.